Hey, I got something to say. I'm just so sick of hearing everyone complain. I know it's tough and I know there's pain, but hitting bottom is the only way to change. So I'll keep hustling, you keep struggling, bitch, I'm humbling.
Welcome to CryptoEMC, everybody. Yesterday, we shared a buy setup with you guys live on YouTube, subsequently updated everything on Twitter and in the Discord. And today, I'm happy to say that it played out nicely, and everybody should be sitting in TP1 with a nice little bit of profit in your bag. Okay, so Moon Lee returns. Moon Lee left all his moon apparel at home. So, come on, where's my Moon Lee?
Well, I'm here, but it's not the same moon that you're going to see.
No. The moon we're on a new moon, a full moon, and I think Lee is on new moon cycle at the moment because he's very toned down and he's battling an infection of bad internet in his region at the moment as well. So please bear with him. Lee, you kind of had to rush out last minute to buy a whole new internet service providing service just to be on the stream. So kudos for doing that, my friend.
Pleasure. Yeah.
Never doubt Moon Lee's. Say that again?
Tired of this load shedding and internet and everything.
No, never doubt his commitment. That is one big committed Moon Lee. All right, guys. So today we need to talk about a few things. CPI is obviously a hot topic, trending topic at the moment. And we're going to be talking about Bitcoin and trading moon phases. So sit back. I want to show you something interesting about moon phases. While you do that, hit that like and subscribe button and share the video to a few friends as well. While you're at it, make sure that we get to help as much as well. Let's take that help away. Share the love. Okay, Lee, let's quickly get our vegetables out of the way. I want to just talk simple CPI. Simple CPI. The last time round, the CPI came out and the consensus and what actually was and the previous was a little bit different, and we had a market moving around. So we're sitting in the same situation where we can speculate. We can now say, yeah, but how much is it going to be? What is it not going to be? And so forth, and how the market's going to react. But that's the nice thing about being technical analysts. We don't really care. We want to see whether there's going to be crazy volatility, and if there is, we want to take some profit on that volatility. So if you're a hustler and you want to take some profit, volatility profit with us, give me a 333 in the chat. And while Lee's little siren special effects is going off there, I just love that Joburg traffic. It's always going to have stuff like that coming through. Lee, okay, now I want to show you guys the CPI. Remember, I said this a while ago. Let's take the screen away. I said this a while ago. Recession and the GDP is largely calculated out of your spending. So if we can create a situation where a hell of a lot of people are scared, spending stops, immediately we can control the GDP figures in a way, because it's largely based on your actions, not the government, not large institutions, your actions. Now, when we look at the CPI, there's also different types of areas where the data gets captured from, and that then gets used to create the CPI values. Now, I want to bring out something. I just want to show you guys that. So you get food, energy, which is two different categories. And at the moment, what we're getting in with it, what we need to be looking at is when we look at the CPI based on your spending and the prices that impact you directly in your daily consumables. That graph slowly but surely reached its peak. So one can argue that it got as expensive as it probably could have been. But when we look at energy, oil, and the supply of that gas, fuel, that at this stage has not really had a big reversal. We had a little bit of a retrace on the oil price. Maybe that trend continues and we're going to go down. But that's something that we're going to have to take on a case-by-case basis. So, in short, let's look at what the betting man is looking at. So if we look at this little website over here, this is kind of where we want to see, what we want to see. So every day I look at this, and as people are getting more negative, and as the CPI data will probably print out more negativity, maybe an even bigger increase, we might see a situation where this 1 full percent becomes a more realistic moving play. If the CPI data today comes out favorable, meaning less than what was expected, or even zero, meaning zero growth on what was the last CPI figures, that can maybe change this whole dynamic and the way that the next Fed meeting is going to take place. But up until that, it's all speculation, guys. So from my side and from your side, you need to think of it as a sentiment indicator. And in the end of the day, let the indicator play out, because we do have technical analysis to give us a better picture on that. That said, Lee, DXY is running away with us, buddy. Yet again, just trending stronger and stronger every day. So at this stage, big picture wise, still in play for this area here, where I believe that the DXY can accelerate itself up to 116 before we really see some sort of a bottom or a lateral trend forming for the dollar. So up till then, this is a strong trend, and we treat it as momentum, which means that as long as this happens, everything else will continue in its current trend. And for Bitcoin, that current trend is down. Subsequently, you can see that in the point and figure chart where we measure trends. We broke trend. And yesterday I came out and I gave you guys this pattern. And the argument was that if we look on a daily, this is what most retail is looking at. Retail is looking at this. It's looking at this trend and it's saying to itself, well, if that is the trend that everybody is looking at, they're going to want to buy on that line. And if we go and measure it, if they bought on that line, there's their stop limit, 2% below that line. Retail decided to get the hell out. That is why we bought there. And subsequently, we're trading that to our benefit. So I am a frenemy. If you were one of those guys buying on the line and you were the ones that had your stop limit in the way, I would probably be the guy taking the other side of that trade and saying thank you, because now weak is out. And weak is only FOMOing back in probably now saying, I should have held. And that maybe was what we need to get this trade to TP2. So let's keep our fingers crossed and see if that happens. Lee, now I want to talk to you about moon phases, my friend.
Yeah, tell me.
Moon phases. What do you know about moon phases?
I know there are some traders who try to time the trade according to those moon phases, right?
Yes.
So there's even an indicator on TradingView is giving you all those moon phases, basically. But personally, I never used it.
Well, I'm going to show you something. Maybe I can convert you today. So this is a normal Bitcoin chart. I'm going to zoom out. For anybody that is maybe new to TradingView as well, I'm just going to quickly load in the moon phases indicator. It's a simple indicator. I'm going to talk you through how to use it, and then we're going to move over in how you can help to apply this or integrate this into a strategy. So you go into the indicator tab within your TradingView, or you can use a shortcut on your keyboard, which is a little / line. And then this little menu bar tab pops up, and you can just type in moon phases in there. So moon phases, then it comes up. And what I've done is I've hovered over it to highlight a little star, and I've just clicked it so that it's always easily accessible. So once I add moon phases in, your chart will look something like this. Now, just take note, if you're on the monthly candle chart, it's not going to print. Why? Because there's nothing to display. Moon phases are based on the moon cycle. So if you've got monthly candles, all the moon data will be in that one candle, so it stops working. So just take note of that. So you can go up to weekly, 2 weekly, 3 weekly for that matter, but as soon as you go higher than a monthly, your moon candles or moon phases are going to disappear. Now, with that said, let's quickly have a look at this. So I'm going to just look at the settings of the moon phase. Well, basically what happened at this stage, we're in the southern hemisphere. So at the moment, I'm experiencing full moon. For a lot of other people on the northern hemisphere side, remember when the sun is shining and the moon is full my side, they're not seeing the moon. So you're not getting the same moon. You're getting a new moon. So what is going to happen is, depending on where you are, you're going to have a different type of moon cycle. That said, let's have a look at this. It gives you these little full areas that you can switch on and off in TradingView, and it allows you as well to just change the color should you want to. So you can customize this, make it look a little bit cool in the way that you want to do. What I would do is I'll just say growing moon, waning moon specifically for this, and that's why TradingView doesn't have a new moon and a full moon in. So waning moon, we want to get out. Growing moon, we want to get in. So let's say I'm interested in looking at growing moons. So I'll take the growing moon side of it and I'll highlight that, which means every time price gets close to the formation or the end of a blue area, it's maybe time to get out or get in. Let's have a look at that. And then further on, you can change the moon mark and change the moon color as well, make it brighter, lighter, depends on how your preference is. Now, that being said, let's move over to a chart where I've got it laid out. Now, I want to talk to you guys about the moon quickly. Simply. It is not an indicator that you can use to trade off. So that will probably put a smile on Lee's face, isn't it? Lee's signal is so bad. The reality is you need to think of the moon as
I was muted. I said, why not? Show me how you trade it.
Well, the reality is the way that it works is with big cyclical things. There's a joke given. Why do we trade the moon phase and not the Mars phase? Well, simply because there's no chart, no stock market on Mars. So, and why don't trade the Jupiter cycle for that matter? A little bit of astrology in there, because the Jupiter cycle is too long. You'll be holding for too long. The reality is all these lunar effects have some sort of a bearing on the market as such. The moon is just the simplest one to use, and you need to just use it as a sentiment indicator. So I'm going to show you this. So let's bring up my screen. And let's just talk sentiment for now. So what I've got Bitcoin here. And if you look at the moon cycle, and let's just take it from here. Every time we get close to the ending of a blue cycle, and we move over into what is that? A brown cycle. There's always a move to the upside. End of the blue cycle. Sometimes there's obviously a reversal on the rule, but then the argument is when you get to the dark moon, you buy, and you get to the bright moon, you sell on the indicator. And if you look at that, get to the dark moon, buy, sell, dark moon, buy, bright moon, sell, dark moon, buy, sell, buy, sell, buy, sell. Now it should start saying, well, that looks amazing if you think about it in that way. So buy, sell, buy, sell. So it's kind of a nice indicator to just give you guys a timing. Because Lee, what do we do when we look at it? We give you guys an idea sometimes. We try and help you guys figure out timing. There's normally a good time to apply a strategy, and there's normally a bad time to apply a strategy. It's your job as a technical analyst to actually go and see where your strategy does well. So if you want to apply a strategy, why not use one of these lunar phases to say, well, if we get to an area where it's close to a probable buy, let's see how my strategy does in that zone of candles, as opposed to trying to look for further longs when we get close to a bright moon on the chart. Simple as that. It just gives you a bit of structure where to go and look for what. Doesn't mean that it's going to perform 100% of the time. Okay, so back to the chart here. Now, what I want to show you guys, if I go over to the weekly, and this is something interesting. If you move over to the weekly candles, I'm just going to take a while to load. Let's just bring them back. I don't know why my trading view is so stupid when it comes to loading these things, but okay, it does it. There we go. So if you look at the weekly, you can see that what we want to do is, and this is the easiest way to just look at the power of how the cycle works. The week leading out of the dark moon. If you buy the low area and you buy the week preceding to the light area, you'll have profit. The leaving out of the dark area, week moving to the bright area, you'll have profit. The week out of the dark area, the week leading to the bright area, profit. Okay, now that becomes the trend. You can, oops, that's the one. That is how this thing works. So the argument is where we at now. We're moving to an area where there's going to be another dark moon. Printing, wherever that's going to happen. It's still 2 weeks away. That's going to happen when my full moon that I'm experiencing at night is going to turn into a new moon. So when that happens, probably that would be a nice area again for me to look for another swing to the upside. And where we are now is for anybody that took the swing there is to take some profit. Simple as that. It doesn't give me an idea of how high it can go. But what it does do, it just shows me these cyclical events on how price is going to move from that area. So if you're new to trading, and I'm just going to leave this here. If you're new to trading and you're trying to find your feet, cycles like this will help you know when to dabble in a little bit of trading and when to maybe sit out. And that is what the moon phase for me is, and the most powerful tool for the moon phase. Now, just a fun fact, Lee, 3 days before every full moon, historically is when the market crashes or a market crash occurs. So maybe that's something we can end this off and say, right, guys, so the moon phase is a real good sentiment indicator, and let's look at that and look for how we can utilize this going forward within our own strategy. Okay, so that's it. Lee, let's quickly go through the comments. Maybe this was a little too moonish for everybody, but at the end of the day, that is the reality of technical analysis. It's actually all just a version of astrology, because we are charting probabilities. It's like reading one of those what do they call it? I don't have the word in English. Where they define what type of person you are due to your birth, your star sign. Sometimes they kind of speak the kind of truth because it's so generalized, because that is the probabilities. So that's what we want to trade. Okay, right, Lee, buddy, you've got some technical analysis. Bring a little bit of common sense back to CryptoEMC, everybody. So
I just wanted to add, when you backtest a strategy like this, the moon, okay, it's already in your chart, you can see it. But most of the time, the moon and those colors just print after the candle close. Right. So the timing is really important. I don't know if you noticed, if you have experienced it in the past, but when I was backtesting a strategy, by looking at the chart, I knew, for example, if I wanted to test divergences, I knew already that, you know what, that divergence print at the bottom and at the candle close, there is a divergence. But when that candle is currently playing, you don't know exactly if that RSI is going to close down or is going to close up according to the price action. So live trading, backtesting strategy is also different when you rewind that chart.
Right? Yeah, because you get the final answer.
Yeah, and also I never trade only one indicator. There's not a single indicator that's going to give you a good strategy, because now you're telling me it's a buy area, it's a sell area, but where's your stop loss? Where's your take profit?
I actually have a chart to I brought up this chart because I know Lee is my trade wife, so I know he was going to say this. I built this chart actually, Lee, for that reason. There's our support and resistance indicator. Beautiful indicator. It gives you support and resistance levels.
Now we're talking again. So now you need actually 2 or 3 different parameters to build the strategy. You got your moon cycle, bearish or bullish, right? And now you are using another indicator, which is this one. It can give you some stop losses and some take profit. So now you've got a set of rules. You know, every time I've got a blue color or a gray color, try to look at the charts. Where's the candle close?
Buy support.
And then buy support. But which support? The problem is which support. So if you buy at that candle close, and you just start counting those lines, and every time you say, okay, if I count 4 lines and 5 lines, my stop is safe, and I'm taking profit when it goes above 4 lines, 5 lines. You know the ratio. You work it out, and now you can go back and play that strategy and build your own strategy with that in mind. Every time apply the same rule.
That is the important thing. That is what a trade rule would be. So the argument is, how would you know it's that level? The reality is, obviously, this is a broad, it gives you a cyclical confluence, but you'll still need to go and look for the setup at around these levels. Go and have a look at all these areas. Look for the setup at around those levels, because that is what you're trying to achieve. That's the only goal. But this in itself is not a good strategy just yet, because how many conditions do we need, Lee?
We need actually 2 or 3 conditions at least, minimum 2 conditions. But you need to.
I would argue 3. My personal would say always be 3.
I like 3, but minimum you need 2 conditions. And
It's
you need
easy
to know
where
where to put your stop loss and where to take your take profit.
It's easy to get you to agree with me. But if I want to get a third person to agree with me, I probably need to bribe it. So that's kind of what I want. So if the audience agrees with me and Lee agrees with me, that's good enough. But and that's why I always say, let's have a 3. I've got my opinion. I've got 2 additional stuff that works with it. Well, and that's it. Okay, Lee, common sense back into trading. So I've shown you a few interesting things. I'll maybe just want to show you guys this last chart before we move over. This is applying the moon cycles to a strategy. So the argument is I've shown you guys how to mark out these support, supply, and demand levels. And if we start applying these supply and demand levels, and you want to buy these levels, the argument is if you can buy them close to one of these areas, or when you're in a gray area, buy when it gets to a demand line, and when you're in the blue area, sell when it gets to a supply line. You're starting to narrow down your entries or your risk, and that is why it's important to if you want to use this in comparison with a strategy. That's all. That's the little bit of magic that this allows you. We're getting close to a red area. Maybe wait for that, or let's see if we can find a supply trend there. There is a supply trend around that area. So if you want to buy now, let's look for a demand trend at around this area, or realistically, maybe that area, and see if we can buy it around that area when it gives us that layer of confluence. Historically, if you look at the S&P as well, Lee, if you trade the green cycle, which is the growing moon, versus 2 weeks after the growing moon you buy and you sell at the next moon, basically you will outperform most strategies out there. So that's just something. We don't have any data for that on crypto, and I didn't go and backtrack that, but it's just something interesting for you guys to go read up on. Okay, so I think
I've got another moon signals if you want to hear.
Give it to me. Let me hear.
I saw it on the chart. Carl the Moon said Bitcoin is going down to 13K. So, you can backtest all those tweets.
There's a moon.
Yeah, that's another moon indicator for free. Follow his Twitter account, and yeah. Look, and you check how many times he was right, how many times he was wrong, and then you can make your own idea about our implementing a strategy.
That's true.
Yeah.
Thanks for pointing out the obvious, Daily. And I tend to agree with Willem. The first time I heard about it, Moonface indicator seems ridiculous at face value. But go and look at it and see how you build your own strategy. Look, at the end of the day, even my strategy, the buy setup I gave yesterday, seemed ridiculous to most people. We can go through the comments. And that's why I don't diss anything. There's the comments. People were disagreeing with me. People were looking at this and saying, I'm shorting. People were looking at me, where is the fear? There is no fear, and the trade setup played out. I had funny stuff thrown at me. That's the thing. Rest in peace, buddy. You sit on your throne of lies.
I've got something else to celebrate.
These things happen. But use a strategy to your benefit, because there's people disagreeing. There's maybe people trading against you, and maybe you make money out of them. Okay, Lee, what do you have to share there, buddy? Can I bring up your screen?
Yes. So that's the strategy. I implemented with the line. You can go and guess if I'm using the moon cycle or not. Probably not, because I'm doing intraday. And you give me the task of completing how many? 20 trades? 25 trades? 25. You see, Rudo is upping the numbers every time. So
no. I want to use today's CPI data as well. That's why I want to just add 5 more trades commonly, 5 more tests before we go live with this.
Okay, let's count. We have a batch of 5 trades here, 4, 5 here, 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Okay, so basically I'm missing 6 trades. And just as we speak, I tweeted out also on Twitter account, make it fun. Are you going up and down from there? Obviously, the private group has got the code already. And we just went to TP1. So now that strategy, the set of rules that I put out was buy for the signals that were given before at the 15 minutes candle close. Put your stop loss 2 lines below for long, so 1 and 2. Your stop is here, and set TPs, 4 TPs. In that case, I put it 1, 2, 3, 4 here. 20% at each TP, and move your stop losses as soon as we go into TP1. And then if it goes above, we can use the trailing stop losses. So this indicator is also using as a level for stop loss and a trailing stop loss. So can I count this as a win now? I guess yes, because we're not going to lose any more money. We can put our stop loss at break even.
Your screen.
And we can just watch the price action go. So here, yeah.
I was just losing you there.
So now here we have like 1, 2, 3. What we did, 19 trades, only 1 loss.
Okay, how did it do on Bitcoin? Do you have the Bitcoin data for us?
Are you still with me, Rudo?
Yes, I'm still with you. I think your bad internet's just slowing down because you don't have any download speed. You've got brilliant upload speed. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay, how did it do on Bitcoin, buddy? For everybody else, let's quickly just retake this on Bitcoin. Did you do any new setups?
Bitcoin is a little bit not that great. Yeah, we are doing that on Bitcoin on private group as well. The stat doesn't look that amazing on Bitcoin, but S&P 500 is brilliant.
So I actually like what you're saying, guys. I'm going to interrupt Lee a little bit here and there, but purely just because of the internet, so bear with me. The reality is, if you think about it, same strategy.
My internet is not fast enough.
Yeah, now it's a little bit better. Same strategy, 2 different assets, different results. Funny, huh? And that's the thing about trading strategies, that they're not all tailored for one specific thing necessarily. There might be a different mood in the S&P 500 at this stage, which allows for that strategy to perform better at this given point, and then within Bitcoin. So you need to remember and take that data further. Okay, so everything is in the Discord, Lee. You're actually very diligent in the Discord. So if you guys want to go and check it out, please go over to the Discord. Everything is there. I think, Lee, make a big, quick movement so I just know you're not frozen. And then, yeah, what do you have for us on Bitcoin today? What can I do on trading wise? Earth to Lee. Okay. I don't have Lee anymore, guys. It seems to be the end of the Lee. Moon Lee has left. Right, guys. I think that's it. Let's call it a day. We shared a few things with you guys. What we can do is we can maybe look at an alt or so. Let's quickly bring up Telos. Telos making the lower low at this stage. So that would be the higher high locked in there. So if you want to invest into Telos, that's going to be the higher high want to beat. And then it's time to do some investment buying. Good thing to do. Let's have a look at Cardano again. These are projects I'm interested in, guys. There's going to be different projects, and I can't be interested in all of them as well. The reality is that you're going to have know the merits of what it is that you want to buy. I like these projects, so I want to show you how I go about it. So there is Cardano as well. Cardano has yet not made a lower low. I kind of want to see it go below that level there. Tricky little thing there. If it goes below that level, we have a new low. This then comes in to play, and then we have a 40 to 60 or 40 to 70 cent range, which is a little bit narrow, which means that if this is the DCA range and the long-term buy, that would be a really good time to start looking for a buy. So let's wait and see what Cardano does for us. I'm going to move over to the scalp setups. We spoke about Solana yesterday. Let's quickly have a look at Solana. The argument was I've shared these supply and demand levels with you guys. Just going to zoom in there, and I say to you guys, close to these demand or on these demand lines, there's a buy. So at this stage, what I'm seeing at this is Solana is finding a floor for itself. Okay, so it's yet not made a higher high. So it's maybe coiling down to a breakout to the downside at some stage. I don't know. I'm not going to overthink this, but all that I am saying is if we can close a few 4-hour candles above this demand line over here, we will probably see Solana go and capture and try and hit off one of these levels over there. The same can be seen for Ethereum. Let's have a look at Ethereum. So Ethereum, the argument is I'm still looking large time frame for this buy. So Ethereum keeps doing what it needs to do, and the market keeps being the market. This becomes a high probability, and I'm not going to try and hold past that level. Let's quickly take stock on our longs that we had. Well, this one's actually concluded. I can actually just remove it off the list. This is a short that we were doing. So this one was the one that stopped out. This one stopped not even out, didn't go to the sell zone. And this one was one of the last ones that stopped out as well. So same strategy, one missed, two stopped out. Let's move over to the additional ones that was called, same time. I'm going to look at AR. So went into the sell zone, hit TP1 finally. Okay, so now we're sitting with 2 stops out and 1 TP. Okay, and then we're going to go to XMR, stopped out as well. Not that great. And then we're going to go over to Wi-Fi. So hit TP1 on its way to TP2, and we're going to go to FXS, and it's also on its way to TP2. So just to show you guys the probability and how everything fits together, sometimes you're going to hit a wall with a strategy, but the idea is not to necessarily or unnecessary go change things in it, because the mood and the cycle at that stage might just not fit it so well. But if you continue on, the big picture probabilities always pulls you through. That's it. Okay. Lee, you're back again, buddy. See, you dropped off there for a bit.
Yes.
Okay. You want to share something? Are we going to risk it one more time? Let's see if we can quickly get your screen
No,
up.
I don't. You asked me for Bitcoin stats. Bitcoin stat is not as great as S&P. I think there's 16 trade and there's 4 losses already. So trying to tune that a little bit for Bitcoin. I don't know if I need to, because I mean we are having fun now on S&P. Why would you try to fight Bitcoin when you can make easy money on the other side, right? So that's more or less my mentality right now.
It is true. I tend to agree with you. If you can make easy money, that's the whole reason why we're trading. I don't want to work. I want to click a button and see money come into my account. So that's definitely true. Okay, I see a request for Uni. Let's quickly do Uni. I'm going to quickly bring up a Uni. I'll do a Uni. I'm interested to see what's happening in Uni. I saw a Uni chart, and let's quickly see where we're at with Uni. Where is my Uni pair? Why can't I find Uni? Maybe let's do it not the lazy way and type it in. Okay, so I'm going to bring up my screen and let's see what the technical analysis, technicals show us. Okay, Uni. So first things first, I haven't looked at this in too long, so I'm going to go a little bit of a time frame because I want to see where we're at. Okay, as you can see, still, even with Uni, these cycles get close to the white, you take your profit, get close to the dark, you buy, close to the white, you sell. So this shows you how these cycles work. But now let's take the moon away because I don't want to look at it every day.
Have you back tested it before bringing it?
Well, I've back tested it and it does work really well. I'm going to be honest with you. But you still need a strategy. It just gives you
a comment. Where can we trade S&P? There are a lot of brokers out there where you can trade S&P, but you can trade S&P on PrimeXBT, as well as also crypto on PrimeXBT, and that's the platform that I am using and that we are using. At the back on Discord. And I think that answers also the 3 questions from Carlos. You can find those trades in our Discord group. Join our Discord group and ask how.
Yeah, just join. Links in the description, guys. Right, let's have a look at Uni. We've got Uni. So the first thing I do is, like yesterday's Bitcoin call, I try and see what retail is going to be looking at. Retail is going to be drawing lines like this. Why? Because it's simple, it's easy, it's the people's trade. So it's fine. You know, you can use it to your benefit, and you need to always use anything to your benefit. If you know what your opponent's going to be doing, do it and see how he's going to lose and take advantage of it. That's kind of what cheating is in the end of the day as well. And that's what we're doing here. Okay, so that's something that's going to come in. So if I'm looking at Uni, I think the reality is if you want to see big moves, the big moves are going to happen on the other side of this line. That's just a given. So any long idea, buying for 30, 40, 50%, wait until we're there before you start thinking or dreaming about that. Short term, if I look at Uni and I'm trying to see where I would want to buy, all that I'm going to do is I always flip to a line tool just to make it easy. And I can go even to a weekly to make it even easier on myself. So what do we have here? This is something that each and every one of you guys can do. There's a line tool. Now it's easy for you to just go and say to yourself, well, there's the first high. Select the wrong indicator. There's the first one. Let's make that a high line. Move it over to the next one. Low, high, where's the next low? There's the low. High, there's a low. And we're at the point of making a high. So until we break this line, Uni is trending down. Longing it would be risky. Very risky because you're trying to trade against the trend or swim against the current. You'll get tired, your stop will get hit. That's the easiest way to look at anything. Now let's switch on the candles because now we can have a bit better detail. So there's the top there, there's the low there. So if I want to have a look at Uni and I want to try and trade Uni, the simplest, easiest way is to say, well, get above this level, go get a higher high, and then I come buy. But we tend to be in a hurry. We want it now. So if you want it now, you're going to have to think about smaller time frames. So let's look at 4 hours and let's see what we can find on the 4 hour. So if you look at the 4 hour, the move that brought us into this range that we're at is this area over here. Okay. Now it moved us in the range. We changed our colors of our trend from being a downtrend to a lateral trend. So now where's the highs on that? And this is the worrying thing. So if I look at this range over here, there and there, that is my supply zone for Uni. Supply zone broken. Great, good news. And let's just, I don't have a supply. Let's just call it a sell zone for that. Broken. But what we would want to see, if we want to expect a breakout, bring out this indicator. If I want to expect a breakout, is you would break out and test this range, there or there. Either two of those lines is fine. And then continue on. And what we've done is we've fallen back in this lateral range. So Uni is ranging again. It's not trending. It was giving you the hope for a trend, but now it failed and it's ranging again. So for that reason, I would rather short Uni around this level over here. Anywhere between 5.8 and 6.12 would be a short area for Uni. There's a nice place to draw a line in the sand saying, well, if we get above this, maybe I'm talking bullshit and we have a possibility to get above this level. You know, you have to trade a chart as if you don't know what's going to happen next. What if I'm wrong? And if I want a long Uni, I would only start longing Uni at around this level over here. That's it. So longing between maybe 4.6, 4.8. There would be a good area to long Uni because of where we have and what we have. Big picture is a possibility. Short time frame, I would rather want to look at shorting it, meaning that I've got a better risk to reward ratio. I'm risking this part to gain this part. Just better maths, better sense of going forward. Okay. That's it, Lee. Anything you want to share, buddy?
No, not on my side. I'm watching the chart if there's any signals coming before the CPI announcement.
Okay, 10 minutes to CPI announcement. According to a comment here, 10 minutes until CPI data. Expect volatility. Thanks, Ryan. Let's quickly go to a small time frame on Bitcoin. Let's see. Do you have a S&P 500 chart there, maybe?
I'm watching it.
You want to share your screen? You want to risk sharing your screen?
No, I'm watching it right now and see. Well, we took a long before, before the CPI data. Yes, S&P 500. I need 9 minutes for until that candle close, and so far it looks a little bit bearish, but I need confirmation again in 9 minutes.
Let's look at Bitcoin while we do that.
Surprisingly, Bitcoin is more towards the bullish side. So I don't know.
I just wanted to say, okay, but it's to the bullish side, but not here. You don't buy bullish there. There was the buy when nobody was interested. Now, if you didn't buy,
simple technical analysis. Now, I can do a simple one on Bitcoin, and the reason why we are bullish as well here is basically on 2-hour charts. You can go to a 2-hour chart. There's a bullish divergence. In 2 hour, 1 hour, there's a strong bullish divergence actually forming. So that's why we had this move up as well.
So strong bullish divergence. We are looking at it's a reversal, and we want to see with a strong bullish divergence. We want to see a lower low on price, and we want to see a higher low on the oscillator. That's correct.
Yes. Now you go check that oscillator or that RSI, then you have this bullish divergence forming.
Okay, let me
now the same problem now is on that same 2-hour chart. There's hidden bearish divergence forming.
I'm going to zoom in here and I'm just going to show you guys this. So we've got strong bullish divergence forming on the 2-hour. So you're looking at this to there, and you're looking at that to there. Correct?
Yeah.
Okay. So it tells you it wants to break the trend. What is the trend? The trend is down. Showing it wants to break the trend. We're kind of far away from that trend, so it's not the time to get too excited about it. But now you're talking about a bearish divergence. So anybody that's new, you're confusing the hell out of, because you're just saying bullish, but now you're saying bearish as well. So
now, what kind of bearish?
What's your meaning?
What kind of bearish divergence do you see now here?
Okay, so I'm going to show you guys the bearish divergence. There's a high there, and there's a lower high there. But there's a high there, and there's a higher high there. Okay, so let's move over. Now, what do we see? Let's remind ourselves of price. Lower price, higher oscillator. So I'm going to go there. Where do we see a lower price and a higher oscillator? It's a continuation divergence. So basically what it's telling me is at this stage, although price is trying to break the trend, but maybe it's just breaking this trend. The bigger trend, this one, is still in check, and this is the continuation to do this. It's an opinion. I don't know how it's going to print, but that's
if the sellers still have the momentum. If the sellers, still have the momentum is bearish on that 2-hour chart, as you can see. So if the continuation bearish divergence is going to play out, then the seller is going to win, and obviously we're going to have another lower low. If the strong bullish divergence is going to play out, then buyer is going to win, then we're going to make a higher high. It's all about, having a fight now. They're fighting within the key zone between sellers and buyers.
Zone. And this key zone is an area where we're above it, we had demand. And you don't buy below it. And if we look at where we are now, don't do that, undo. Click the button. Look at where we're at now. We're below it. No reason to buy. So you can't go long now. You can actually go short now on the basis that divergence, in order for it to delete, what do we need to do? Price needs to go above this pivot. which means you can have a tight stop, isn't it, Lee?
Yeah, I was about to say that, you know what, there's no reason to buy according to yours, to that specific setup and to that specific strategy.
Yes, but for somebody else it is probably, yeah.
Exactly.
I agree with
if
you.
you zoom in 5 minutes, there's always a reason to buy every 5 minutes, right?
Okay, so it's so now it becomes it can either go up or down again. I'm sorry if we can't give you a clear answer, but that's the reality about trading. So look at it. Now somebody's stop is just annihilated. So now that bearish divergence is blown out of the water. So whoever thought they were going to short this now literally got taken for a ride.
Yeah, they should be stopped out now.
Yeah, let's measure it. Let's measure it. Everybody that bought on this line thinking it's going to go down, 1.3%. And those guys, where's their stop limits going to sit? Probably at entry or 2-3% above that. There's still a little bit of gains to go. And that is why we want to buy when the market's uncomfortable. That is why we want to buy this setup. Because the upside is bigger than the downside. Just because you can trade it doesn't necessarily mean you need to trade it. Because I rather like this one playing the way it needs to, because my TP2 means that that's the time when everybody that's FOMO's in here. And this is stop limits being hit. Nobody's buying this. That's why it's falling back down. But that is the time with everybody that was in disbelief of what's happening here. It's going up. Says, I'll bet my buy. And that's normally when it turns around, and then we can either go down. Okay, so there you have it. Live in front of you. I actually like that you pointed that out. It's a little advantage that we can have today. Right. Okay, ADA is pumping like crazy. I don't believe you. Let's quickly see if ADA is pumping like crazy. That looks like a big bull pump candle, but okay, it's just a sarcastic joke. Let's quickly have a look at this thing. Look, bigger picture wise, it's nothing really doing it. But small picture, yes, ADA is pumping. Why? Because people are looking at this and saying, hey, it's getting above this level. Should you buy it? Hell no. Why? Because even if you want to take a breakout trade, firstly, if you want a breakout trade, the momentum needs to be in the direction you want to buy the breakout, which means you can't buy this because the momentum is down still. There's the higher high. Wait for the higher high.
You're going to confuse a lot of people, Rudo, by saying that.
Okay. Maybe. Guys, it took us multiple years and a lot of money lost to get where we are. So obviously, it's not a skill that you're just going to hit over in 15 minutes. But if you stick at it, I promise you, you're going to get it. Promise you. Go to the premium group in the Discord as well. We do a lot there. We help people. We give you the fish, so you don't have to think about it. So you can at least make money while you learn.
Yeah, but finish what you were thinking here. Why is not the buy right now?
I've left it there. I'm happy with what I said. Let's leave it there. Let's take this up tomorrow. Maybe we do at some stage. We'll talk about buying breakouts and stuff like that. But
no, but you were right. I mean, I wouldn't buy that breakout because it's not part of any of my strategy. But explain why.
Well, let's simple guys. Let's take at a time where the breakout worked. Okay, let's go here. So let's have a look at where a breakout works. Okay. Now you can argue that let's draw a line here. There, if I bought that breakout, I would have made some money. But let's see why. I want to show you why. If I look at the structure, what am I getting? There is a pivot that makes a lower low. 1, 2, 3 goes lower. Okay. And the breakout occurs once we engulfed this structure. So what happens is price went above this area. All this selling pressure was deleted by a higher high. And then it went. Okay. That is normally what happens with a breakout. But what people do not see is they do not pick up on the small nuances before they do that. And it is off the back that you already broke this momentum over here. So the argument is if I were to flip this to a line tool and I maybe go onto a 1 hour, let's have a look at this. Line tool on the 1 hour. What have we done? There's the higher high. Doom, doom, doom. Got above it. It didn't even come and test anything. So it's already showing me that out of the lateral trend that is there, it's breaking out and it didn't come back into this range. Uni's doing this. Uni's back in this range. So now you can add momentum to it.
Wow, look at this S&P. Sorry to interrupt you.
What is it doing, my friend? Share your screen. I want to see your screen.
Wow, 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 wow. What is that candle?
Share your screen.
It is shared. No, it's not.
No.
So this is
So
the
looking at
volatility
this,
that.
have a look at this. There you go, buddy. Now you see the difference between the two. What we haven't done is we have yet not changed the momentum. And now you can see what Cardano is doing. So just to give you an idea, same strategy in theory. So if you look at it quickly, it looks exactly the same, but it isn't. There's small nuances in trading that you have to learn in order to master these things. Okay. S&P 500, let's bring it up. Okay, Lee, what did you do?
I didn't do anything. There was TP level
What?
1, 2, 3. We missed TP 4. Can you see?
Yes, I can see. I'm
And
just
now,
going to expand
now
the
look
screen a
at this
little bit.
candle here. Yes.
That's a dump down, huh? Oh,
Yeah.
just make your screen a little bit
this is
wider
not
there.
normally. You know what? This is not our concern because our call was a long, and then we went there. Okay, we didn't catch the sell. It happened really quickly at the market open. But yeah,
Yes.
now we wait for
This is what we
another
call-
signal to.
If you look at this one, this Bitcoin candle, when is this going to close? Maybe in another hour. It's the makings of what is called a Darth Maul candle. What does the Darth Maul do, Lee?
Taking money from short and long.
Everybody
Sweeping the
gets
highs
thrown
and the
out.
lows.
And that's why we're conservative with taking profit. Our stop for Bitcoin now is hit. Okay, so we're out of this trade. Thank you, I'm gone. But I already took profit there, so do I cry about it? Now I can go and have a look at the long swings, the short swings that we've got going, and maybe celebrating some more gains there. Maybe some more of them have actually gone and hit TPs. Let's quickly go see. Let's see what they're doing. No, not enough movement there for even it's a swing. Remember, these take time. Let's have a look. Wi-Fi. Nothing. So no new TPs hit to celebrate, but okay. That's all right. Let's see what it does. Okay, guys. So CPI data is really wreaking havoc with everybody, and for anticipation of it. So what is the
CPI
data?
data or not?
Released.
When have you heard an alert on my
data-
trading view? Where you were doing your TA? I had 2 alerts with sell S&P 500. Yeah, but it happened too quick. Couldn't publish it.
Let's see. Is the new data out?
It should be out. 9.1
CPI
people said
9.1%. Let's see what happens with this chart here. Now there should be some changes here. Let's quickly see what this one does. Let's reload this one. See, maybe maybe this thing. I don't know how regularly it gets updated, but I would imagine tomorrow that 11.8% is going to be way high. It's already 14%, guys. Just I'm telling you now. There we go. Okay, right. So see how it's changing now? Now there's talks of even bigger interest rates. And if we go down to where we said end of December, there's a 38% chance of the US interest rate to be sitting around 3.5% total. That is how the probabilities are factored in. And if we accelerate now, that can even go higher. I mean, looking at February, there's still no indication that it's going to go to 4. But I mean, that's the reality of these things. That's how sentiment plays in with this. So, yeah. Interesting day, interesting stream. At least we took some profits, Lee.
Yeah.
So we can go and enjoy our gains and wait for. I can't believe the CPI data. I have to say, I can't believe it. But okay, gas and energy is still extremely high. It's gonna punish the markets and everybody a little bit
Yeah,
more.
look at these
And the
charts.
reality is,
Ethereum minus what, 10% here? No. No, I mean, like it's 5% drop.
so yeah.
Okay. Well, you know what? Up or down, we can long, we can short.
You can make money regardless. That's the blessing in the market. So as soon as you've got a bias or anything else, it kind of excludes you. It either needs to go well or go bad. But if you're neutral, you get to have both. Okay. Lee, thanks a lot, my friend. Yeah, as always, keep hustling. We want to be trading that S&P 500.
Yeah. I see you on the other side. I see you on Discord.
Guys, go to Discord. Links in the description. Go check it out, or go onto my Twitter feed. There's a link there. Go onto Lee's Twitter feed. There's a link there. There's links everywhere on the official pages. So just go and follow those links and get you over there. And let's enjoy the volatility together. Cheers, everybody. And as always,
Keep hustling.